Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the first post-Judgment Day show, even though it's not really a Judgment Day Fallout show because this is Monday Night Raw. But yeah, we are hot off the heels of Judgment Day, and then in terms of the Raw brand, we are hot off the heels of the greatest Raw of all time, maybe? I don't know. This fucking Rock Return main event was pretty funny. It was a really great match, and then I also advertised it as The Rock's return, and I completely forgot that 2 weeks ago, he had a match against Rob Conway. He had a throwaway match, so my bad. In my defense, no one's called me out yet. The video has been posted, and nobody's called me out yet, so knock on wood. You can berate me in the comments of these episodes if you want, alright? I'll take it. I can take it. No, I can't. But tonight we have two matches. One very fucking weird match, and then a normal, pretty based match in my eyes. The based match, of course, being for the Intercontinental Championship. Christian will defend his Intercontinental Championship, his brand new Intercontinental Championship, against Matt Hardy, after Matt Hardy and Val Venis seemingly squashed the beef to defeat Christian and Lance Storm, Val Venis' old tag team partner from a few years ago. And Matt Hardy granted himself got himself an Intercontinental title match. And the weird match we have is the team of the Goon Troops, the Goon Squad, Garrison Cade and Johnny Nitro, taking on the team of Lillian Garcia with a question mark and Tajiri. So yeah, that's advertised. We ran commercials, and we're gonna get straight into the show. I don't have any news to report. Batista's still injured, and we kick off this edition of WWE Raw. I don't know why I forgot the brand name, but we kick off this episode of Raw with Triple H and Evolution already in the ring, and Triple H is pissed. He has lost in the main event on the last show. The Rock announced that him and Mick Foley are going to be fighting for the tag team titles at Bad Blood, and Batista is MIA. He and Edge are both still injured. Edge, kayfabe injured. Batista, shoot injured. And Triple H, along with Randy Orton and Ric Flair, he demands Shawn Michaels comes out right now. He says, there will be no funny business. We will not continue this bloodshed, at least for the next 10 minutes. If Shawn Michaels, you just come out here right now, we need to talk. And Shawn Michaels comes out and he's like, what could you possibly want, Hunter? What could you possibly need to talk about? And he says, look, ever since I dropped the dead weight that was you and our friendship, we have done nothing but shed each other's blood, and now it is finally leaking onto other people. Both Batista and Edge. Did you see what happened last week? I watched the show afterwards. Edge speared Batista off of, like, a 2-story height, off of a 2-story tall loading dock. And they're both, it's hard to get in a hold of Batista. I'm sure you can't really get in a hold of Edge. Look, Shawn, we both know this is the truth. We have been fighting nonstop for what? The past, 2 years? This will only continue and continue to ramp up if we don't settle the score once and for all. I say, me versus you, one last time for the foreseeable future at Bad Blood. And Shawn Michaels, he says, you know what? I see no reason why this shouldn't continue. Oh no, I see no reason why that should be a problem. As long as you're willing to uphold this, unsanctioned peace treaty, if you're willing to uphold your end of the bargain, if this is truly the last time, let's have one final match, me versus you, Bad Blood. Eric Bischoff is there to make the match official. 90 rated segment to kick off the show, and our opening contest is a 60 rated squash match as Antonio the Promise Thomas gets his shit kicked in by Kane. The performance of Kane really stood out. Believe it or not, he defeats Antonio Thomas in 2 minutes and 13 seconds with a choke slam, and he is interviewed immediately after by Gene Okerlund. And Gene says, Kane, on the last Sunday Night Heat, I was trying to interview Shelton Benjamin, and you came in, choked him out with both of your hands, and threw him like a rag doll, and Shelton Benjamin is not here tonight. He is not able to make the travel. He is at the hospital. You have put him in the hospital, and Kane, what could possibly be your motive? And he looks right at Gene Okerlund, and he says, ever since The Undertaker beat me at WrestleMania, it's been downhill and downhill. I've lost to Edge, and when we lose, I've teamed up with Evolution, and we lost again, and Shelton Benjamin eliminated me in that Battle Royal. I should be fighting for the World Championship right now. And Shelton Benjamin eliminated me. And I'm gonna go back to doing what I do best. My brother has gotten into my head way too strongly. He's like a parasite of the brain. He's gotten into my head, and he's fucked with me once again, and I'm losing my edge. I'm gonna go back to doing what I do best, and that is hurt people. And Shelton Benjamin has crossed me, had double-crossed me in that Battle Royal, and he will pay for what he did. Gene, watch your fucking tone next time. 66 rated segment, not a great promo, but it is what it is. The following segment, we see Ric Flair meeting with William Regal and A-Train. This weird alliance that has been going on between Regal and A-Train. Ric Flair is meeting with them, and he just kind of gives a proposal. Straight up, he's like, Regal, A-Train, look, you guys are, you are fighting for the World Championship, William Regal. You are so close to becoming the first ever World Championship. You're so close to winning your first ever World Championship in WWE. WCW, you never won it. Don't you want some help? And Regal's like, well, I've got A-Train. He's like, no. Wouldn't you like more help? You're not exactly going up against a sane human being. You're not exactly, taking on somebody to be taken lightly. And especially after what, you did to Chris Jericho next week, wouldn't it be in your best interest to have the backup of a, known successful group? And Regal says, you know what? I think I get what you're putting down. I think I'm picking it up, but, what exactly do you want from me? And Ric Flair just kind of says, there might be a little stone, a little pebble, a little rock we might need you to, take care of later tonight. He's scheduled to make an appearance in front of the crowd, and, if you could, handle this boulder for us, this huge mountain of a boulder in the room, then, I think you got yourself a deal. And then they shake on it, and 76 for that. What could that mean? Our following match sees Nick Dinsmore take on Chris Benoit in a match where I am determined to prove to everybody that squash matches do work, okay? I got a couple comments and a couple DMs from friends where they're like, look, we're pretty sure the reason your squash matches suck is because of the popularity of the OVW guys. No! The reason, here, I'm gonna prove my point by being a dumbass to myself. The reason my squash matches on SmackDown suck is because I was expecting JBL to give me Chris Benoit numbers. So, there we go. Just, this literally was made because I'm like, Nick Dinsmore versus Chris Benoit would be kind of fun. And also, I want to embarrass myself to prove a point. So, 82, rated match. Chris Benoit defeats Nick Dinsmore. And, yeah, we cut backstage where Kane barges into Eric Bischoff's office. Eric Bischoff is, he is like, holy fuck, Kane, what do you want? What do you want? And he, like, throws his hands in the air, and Kane's like, you know what I fucking want. I want a chance to embarrass the Wonder Kid, alright? I hear it on commentary. I hear Paul Heyman not shutting the fuck up about Shelton Benjamin, about how he cut down the Giant in that Battle Royal, and then he goes and does it again. He hits a T-bone suplex on the Big Red Machine in a tag team match. I've heard it. And then he goes to, like, put his hand around Bischoff's throat, and Jonathan Coachman, he's like, whoa, Kane, no need to get physical. And then Kane grabs Coachman with both arms, shoves him against the wall, and he's like, give me a match against Shelton or else. And Coach is like, Bischoff, please, for the love of fucking God, just give him the match. And Bischoff's like, dude, Kane, calm down. I've got no problems with this. Fine, you can have your match with Shelton Benjamin. Bad blood, you got it. Just leave my guy alone, all right? And Kane's like, all right, good choice. 67 rated match, and we're going to have Kane taking on Shelton. at the pay-per-view. The following segment sees Lillian Garcia making her entrance with Tajiri, and right before the bell can ring, the referee looks at her and he's like, "You're ready?" And she's like, "No, I'm not ready. Tajiri's partner's not here." And Coach is like, "What are you talking about, Lillian? You were supposed to be Tajiri's partner." And Lillian's like, "I never said once that I'm gonna be teaming with Tajiri. I just implied that I would be out here because I know you would be out here with your goon troop, right? So I'm gonna be out here with Tajiri, and I called in a little favor. I talked a little bit with that man right over there," and she points to the announce table at the top of the ramp, and Paul Heyman stands up and he says, "Jonathan Coachman, you have been one of the most insufferable and annoying human beings I've ever met in my life, and your boss is a dumbass. But I do have permissions to make signings," and he makes the green stamp of approval. "So tonight, Tajiri's tag team partner, handpicked by me and Lillian Garcia, is none other than ECW legend Masato Tanaka." Masato Tanaka is making his debut here on Monday Night Raw. He is Tajiri's tag team partner. Of course, it would not be Lillian Garcia. And in Masato Tanaka's tag team debut match, he gets the victory, pinning Johnny Nitro with a Dagon elbow. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Dongan elbow. After Lillian Garcia interferes, costs the Goof Troop the match. And, so Jonathan Coachman distracts Tajiri and Tanaka during the match, and Lillian Garcia evens the odds by interfering, causing Johnny Nitro and Garrison Cade to lose the match. Masato Tanaka, successful debut here on Monday Night Raw, and Jonathan Coachman, he starts berating. He's berating the, I forgot to put him on the fucking screen. Whatever. He's berating his guys, and, he just turns around, he's like, "Paul, Tajiri, Cade, this shit is not over. This does not end here. I don't care how many times you beat me. I'm like a scorpion. I'm gonna keep getting back up. This isn't over, Paul." 61 rated segment. We cut, no, we don't cut backstage. I forgot about this match. We have a match between Trish Stratus and Terry. It gets a 59. I forgot about that. But yes, Trish Stratus defeats Terry in 6 minutes and 17 seconds with a Stratusfaction 59 rated segment. And afterwards, Trish Stratus calls out Victoria. She says, "I heard what you said on Heat. You want to give me a championship match? Then come out. Let's make this shit official." And Victoria, she comes out. I forgot to turn her face. I need to turn her face like ASAP. I'll do it on Heat. Hopefully I remember to do it on Heat. But, so Victoria comes out and she says, "Yeah, let's do this." But then Lita and Stacy Keibler come out and they say, "Look, Victoria, with all due respect, we know that you want to face Trish Stratus. However, we have just defeated our rivals Gail Kim and Molly Holly, and we're looking to take that championship from you. Trish Stratus hasn't really done anything to earn a championship match, so why don't you give the match to one of us?" And Jonathan Coachman, who's still very mad about this Tajiri match, comes out and he's all angry, and he's like, "Look, let's get this fucking show on the road, girls. All right, Trish, Stacy, Lita, you all want a title match? We need a contender. Next week, triple threat match. Whoever wins that match gets Victoria." All right, are we cool with that? Is everyone cool with that? And then all the girls are like, "Yeah, sure." And then Trish is like, "This is fucking stupid. I want the match." 67 for that promo. The next promo sees Chris Benoit is being interviewed by Gene Okerlund, just essentially like, "Look, your challenger at the pay-per-view, William Regal, is clearly has a man in his corner, and that man, A-Train, is one force to be reckoned with. He is not to be taken lightly. They defeated Chris Jericho last week, thanks to A-Train. Chris Benoit, what is your plan going into the pay-per-view?" And Chris Benoit, before he can even say anything, Chris Jericho then comes from the back and he's like, "Gene, get the fuck out of here. What's with the snarky remarks, bud? Get out of here. You don't need to bring up that I lost." Benoit, we got a long history together. And we both wanted to face each other at the pay-per-view. So close to happening, but then William Regal and A-Train, they screwed me over, and then they screwed me again. And you know what? If I can't face you, then how about I help you out? Because as long as you're the world champion, we can still have our match eventually. So William Regal's got A-Train in his corner. How about you have me in your corner. And Chris Benoit says, I'm not gonna turn down free help. Chris, let's get this fucking show on the road. 80 rated segment. Chris Jericho will be joining the fight alongside Chris Benoit. And, speaking of William Regal and A-Train, The Rock comes out to do his, I don't know, like, mandatory public appearance here. He comes out and he starts burying Batista. He's like, oh, with all the juice that he's supposedly on, you'd think he would have survived the fall, and the crowd goes fucking crazy. He's like, Ric Flair, I'm pretty sure he used to wrap my diapers when I was, a 2-year-old. I'm gonna be wrapping his diapers after I beat the piss out, and the crowd's laughing. I can't do a fucking Rock promo. But eventually, William Regal starts coming out, and he starts to berate The Rock, and he's like, Rock, you're stupid, and The Rock's like, no, Regal, you're British. And, William Regal, he cries a little, but he gets into the ring, he gets all up in The Rock's face, and he's like, didn't Ric Flair, when he was wrapping your diapers, tell you to always watch your back? And then out of nowhere comes A-Train, and Regal and A-Train start beating down The Rock, and they start beating him down, until Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley come out, make the save. They don't get any good hits on Regal or A-Train. They're able to escape, but the damage is done. The Rock has been laid out, and the Ric Flair's plan has worked to a T, getting outside men to do their dirty work in exchange for, protection, I guess. I'm not sure. 97 rated segment. Really good shit. That's what happens when you have The Rock. But yeah, after that, we cut backstage where Jonathan Coachman immediately finds William Regal and A-Train as they've retreated. And he says, look, you two, I don't know how to explain this, but, look, we really see money in you two, and we want you, like, in high-profile positions. You're challenging for the world title. We want you in a high-profile position. And Regal's like, what the fuck are you on about, Jonathan Coachman? And he's like, oh, okay, so, I just got word from Eric Bischoff that, he really liked what he saw from you two just out there. So, in the main event tonight, you two are gonna take on Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley. And, Regal and A-Train are like, what the fuck? And they freak out, and, yeah, we have a main event match set now. Up next, 77 rated match. The Intercontinental Championship is up for grabs. Christian, he's able to retain the championship in 10 minutes and 10 seconds after interference from Val Venus. We thought Val Venus had squashed the beef with Matt Hardy, but he did not. He most certainly did not, as he was at ringside this entire time, keeping Trish Stratus at bay. But as Matt Hardy looked to hit the twist of fate, Trish Stratus distracts the ref. Val Venus runs in, clotheslines him to the ground. Christian hits him with the unprettier, retains his championship, and Christian has snuck away with the Intercontinental Championship. And Lance Storm comes out, reunites with his old tag team partner, and Val Venus beats down Matt Hardy, just kind of screaming at him, this should have been me, this was my championship match, Matt Hardy, you're a fraud, you're a fake, you're a phony, jabroni, get out of here, Matt Hardy. And they're beating him down, and Val Venus has turned heel to reunite with Lance Storm, all over losing to Matt Hardy not that long ago, and he wants a championship match. He wants the Intercontinental Championship match. He feels that Matt Hardy does not deserve it. 73 for that match. It's almost time for the main event, but right before that can happen, Gail Kim finds Jonathan Coachman backstage, and she just berates him like, Stacy Keibler's a fucking fraud, alright? You people only book her because of the way she looks. This is ridiculous. I'm a former world champion. How come I'm not in the women's championship qualifier? And Jonathan Coachman's just like, dude, Gail, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I am so trying to focus on Tajiri right now, alright? That's all I truly care about. You want in on the number one? Go right ahead. You can be added. Go right in. It's your match. Alright, it'll be you, Trish, Stacy, and Lita. You want in? Go right ahead. I don't care. So yeah, now I can pre-book this match. 4-way for, next week. Gail Kim, Trish Stratus, that's Triple H. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Stacy Keibler. Winner faces Victoria for the Women's Championship. I'm not going to pick a winner here. That would be a spoiler. But yes, it is time for the main event. William Regal and A-Train versus Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley. And even though Ric Flair told Regal and A-Train that if they did his dirty work, he would help them out. And this match goes, I think I said it, for 14 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. Evolution's not at ringside. And Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley are able to really control most of this match. A-Train gets a good few spots in, gets to cut them off, but once Shawn Michaels gets that hot tag, it's all over for Regal and A-Train. Shawn Michaels gets the hot tag. A-Train has to tag in William Regal. William Regal gets in the ring. Oh, man, elbow drop. He tags in Mick Foley. But then, Evolution do come out. Evolution did held up their end of the bargain. Mick Foley is attacked by Ric Flair. Randy Orton... Shawn Michaels is attacked by Ric Flair. Triple H attacks Shawn Michaels. Randy Orton attacks Mick Foley. The match is in chaos. The referee... let's say Ric Flair distracts the referee so that William Regal can accidentally take him out, and then it goes, all hell breaks loose. Triple H hits the pedigree on Michaels. Randy Orton RKO's Mick Foley. William Regal locks in the Regal it's a pinfall. The Regal stretch is not a submission, okay? William Regal hits the Regal stretch, goes for the pinfall on Mick Foley. Ric Flair wakes up the referee. 1, 2, 3, A-Train and William Regal have just defeated Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley in a match, 93 rated match, and all hell is breaking loose afterwards until Johnny Nitro and Eric Bischoff come running down, and they're yelling. They're like, hey, restore order, everybody fucking stop, everybody stop, or else I'm gonna make you regret your entire lives. And they eventually stop, and Bischoff's like, look, this is enough. This is pandemonium. This is a mess. You are making a disgrace and a mockery of the show that I have control of. I don't have much in this world. I have Monday Night Raw. All right, let me have this moment, okay? Look, Michaels, Triple H, no matter how much you two say, oh, this war is going to end at the pay-per-view, this is going to settle shit. I know what's going to happen, because it just happened tonight. Shawn Michaels lost tonight because Triple H and his crew ran in and screwed him over. Okay? Is that not what happened? Yes, that's what happened. So, you know what's going to happen at the pay-per-view? Shawn Michaels is going to lose because Triple H and his crew screwed him over. Or Triple H and his crew are going to try to screw Shawn Michaels over. And Mick Foley and The Rock, or Edge if he's there, I don't know, they're going to come in and stop it. So you know what? I'm sick of it. We're not going to do that. You know what we're going to do instead? We're going to have Shawn Michaels and Triple H in a Hell in a Cell match. If you truly want the beef to end, if you want this war to end, then Hell in a Cell, where no man can come in or out, is the only way that this score will be settled. 87 rated angle to end the show. Bombshell announcement by Eric Bischoff. Their match at Bad Blood will be none other than a Hell in a Cell match. William Regal defeated Mick Foley on an episode of Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's going to do it for this edition of Ruthless Aggression Redone. I hope you all enjoyed. I was a little out there today. I pre-booked this, full transparency. I booked this show, and then I wasn't able to run it instantly. I had to go do something for a good 2.5 hours. So when I came back, I kind of forgot a couple things. I kind of forgot where stuff was. So if I seemed a little out of it, I'm sorry. That's why. I couldn't remember where shit was going. I should probably, I think I might start taking like a screenshot of the booking screen to have right on my second monitor, so I can keep track in real time, or I could just say fuck it. I mean, we're just having fun with this save. William Regal just beat Shawn Michaels in a match. You know what? I'm actually really interested. I normally end the show before I even get to Heat. However, I am very interested in where... Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. He only lost, like, it's 84. I'll call it 1.5 points, because it's, okay. And how much did William Regal gain from this? Look, you got, what about A-Train? What would he be, Matt? No, he'd be Giant Bernard. No, he wouldn't. He would be Albert. Albert's at 63s now. That's Regal. I'm like, why is Albert so fucking over in the UK? No, that's Regal. Albert. Yeah, Albert. Look, man. Tell me I can't build stars. Tell me I'm not capable of building stars. I am. I hope you enjoyed this edition of... Can you fucking go? I hope you enjoyed this edition of Ruthless Aggression Redone. We are gonna finish the build. We got 2 more Raws and 2 more Heats before Bad Blood. The next episode that you will see will be the SmackDown, the Fallout show of Judgment Day. Sting debuted at Judgment Day, I'm pretty sure. I hope he did. I hope he did. I hope he did. Oh god, what if he didn't? If he didn't and I spoiled it, I'm gonna cry. Okay, he did. Thank the fucking Lord. Alright, so yeah. So Sting debuted. So we're gonna figure out what's going on there on SmackDown. So I hope you all enjoyed this edition. I hope you all come back for episode... What are we on? Episode 13.